We're back on the Void Ship. The Void Ship Lollipop. Ha ha. So our task now, we've just completed the prologue and we are in Chapter 1. So I did off-camera level up my party to, I think it's rank 5 now. I don't remember what I got now. We are... Let's see, I think our first quest here is looking for trouble. A matter of the utmost importance led the interrogator of the Inquisition, Heinrich van Kalox, to the Rykad system. The rogue trader's duty as a loyal servant of the Imperium is to find the interrogator and aid him in this mission. Since his whereabouts are currently unknown, it may be easier said than done. So we have 3 possible pathways here. Visit Rykada Philia, the prison planetoid. It's a lot of P's in a row there. The prison planetoid in the Rykad system may have caught the interrogator's attention. We can make contact with the Navis Nobilite station. The navigator's abode could have been a plausible destination for an interrogator of the Ordo Xenos. The station's residents may tell the rogue trader if they are playing host to such a guest. So that's Rykadi Philia, or Eurac 5. Or land on Rykad Minoris. The interrogator must have visited Rykad Minoris. Perhaps the planetary governor knows of his present whereabouts or planned course of action. So that's 3 possible destinations for us. Not to mention... we have a companion quest for the Battle Sister. We have an errand to find, replenish crew losses. We need to find a new engine seer. And we need to find a new navigator. That one's really important if we ever want to go into the void again. Into the hyperspace. So let's see if we can figure out how anything works.
Lord Captain?
Abelard surveys you briskly but meticulously, as though he is inspecting you for shortcomings. Then he offers a courteous nod. Abelard, let's talk about things that may be useful to me as a rogue trader.
A noble aspiration, Lord Captain. I am ready to acquaint you with all the particulars that interest you.
Outline the situation in the Coronos expanse for me. What do I need to know and keep in mind?
This is a topic for an official briefing, not a casual conversation. But I will try to answer succinctly. And if you permit, in my own words. The Coronos expanse is considerably removed from the heart of the Imperium. This means that local warp routes become useless within months. Established pathways are regularly subject to attacks from all kinds of rabble. And in the only major port, the Imperium's frigates find themselves moored alongside pirate vessels.
Pirates?
Until recently, the Coronos expanse could hardly have been called a region of the Imperium. The situation has changed with the arrival of the Lord Inquisitor, but not by much. This place operates under its own rules, you see. More radical, so to speak. But ones that allow for a non-standard approach where there is a promise of victory. The Coronos expanse is considered rogue trader territory for a reason. Only rogue traders have sufficient military might, audacity, and the rights granted them by the warrant to survive the leap into the unexplored part of the expanse. And in the event of a successful outcome, to hold on to whatever they manage to capture on the frontier.
Well, that is a lot, Abelard. Who are the main players I need to be aware of in the Coronos expanse?
In the first instance, you should treat official representatives of the Imperium with respect. The expanse may be on the fringes, but it still numbers among the territories of the Golden Throne. The arrival of the Lord Inquisitor has turned the Coronos expanse into a less wild and uncontrolled region, to the regret of some individuals who had grown inured to the local lawlessness. Rogue traders such as yourself are also servants of the Imperium. They have been accorded special rights and powers. They wield immense authority within their territory, and they enjoy absolute respect in other parts of the Expanse. The most powerful of them are Kalagos Winterscale and Incendia Bastal Chorda. Tread carefully when dealing with either of them.
Kalagos Winterscale and Incendia Bastal Chorda. I will definitely remember those pronunciations exactly.
If we are to speak of unclaimed territory, which is what Footfall is, among the scum that dwells on that handful of asteroids, there are 3 factions that wield considerable influence in the sector. The first is the Kazbala Commission, organized crime in its most primitive form. It holds sway over the Liege of Footfall and has links to rogue trader Winterscale. The second faction is an offshoot of our shining ecclesiarchy, followers of St. Drusus. They are actively building their forces and hold influence over rogue trader Chorda. And finally, the third faction, the Explorators, a wing of the Adeptus Mechanicus. They are willing to die and kill for the secrets of the ancient technological heresies that are hidden among the stars of the Coronis Expanse.
That's quite a lot to remember, Abelard. Kunrad, our previous Master of Whispers, what can you tell me about his betrayal? What do you think he'll do next?
You know, Lord Captain, I am no admirer of fine art. But when we next find ourselves in a civilized port, with time to spare, I will promptly find an artist and commission a portrait of the individual to whom you refer, with a hole between the eyes. Conrad Voigtveer. That he committed his treachery and escaped with his life was an unforgivable oversight.
Are you saying I did anything wrong, Abelard? How dare you?
We both served Lord Captain Theodora for many years, and we never saw eye to eye. He was brash. He was never afraid of assuming responsibility, and he willingly took on difficult tasks. I am loath to admit it, but the Von Velatius Protectorate continues to reap the fruits of his labors to this day. His service always garnered my respect. But everything else about him made me want to wring the neck of that two-faced snake. If you are taking comfort in the thought that we will hear no more of Conrad, prepare to be disappointed. You thwarted his plans, his meticulously plotted and nurtured treachery. He is sure to attempt to strike at you, and he will use his contacts and knowledge of the Protectorate to do so. The only question, Lord Captain, is whether you will be able to anticipate his next steps.
You dare question me, Abelard? That is all for now.
As you wish, Lord Captain.
Oh wait, actually, I'd like to know more about my seneschal.
As you wish, Lord Captain. What would you like to know?
Tell me about yourself. What were you before you became Theodora's seneschal?
I used to be an officer in the Navis Imperialis. No, used to be is not quite right. It was not simply a job. It was my calling, the essence of my life. I was proud to serve Lord Captain Theodora, but in my heart and mind, I'm still an officer of the Imperium. I met Lord Captain Theodora on a mission where the Imperial Navy was providing reinforcement to the rogue traders' army on one of the frontier worlds. Our acquaintance was not easy. Working with people outside the Navy hierarchy has never been my strong suit. It was to my great surprise then, that after the mission's completion, I received a referral to leave my service in the Navy and join the rogue traders' personal council. It was a difficult choice for me, but I saw in the offer a chance to serve the interests of humanity even more effectively than in the Navis Imperialis. You do not need me to tell you just how remarkable a person Lord Captain Theodora was. I recognized her at once as a true leader and formidable creative force, one who had built a protectorate amidst the dangers and wildness of the Expanse.
Well, why don't you marry her if you like her so much? Leaving the Imperial Navy is far from easy. Why were you permitted to quit your post? Oh. But wait. The way you talk about Theodora, I'm beginning to think you were in love with her.
What? Lord Captain, any allegations of improper feelings or unsanctioned relations are utterly baseless and bordering on the insulting. Utterly baseless.
Struck a nerve, eh? Anyway, leaving the Imperial Navy... Come on, words. Words and letters. Leaving the Imperial Navy is far from easy. Why were you permitted to quit your post?
You could say there was no one among the naval command who was willing to impede the wishes of the rogue trader. To do so would be to risk their own position and their relationship with Theodora. The Lord Captain possessed certain contacts in the Imperial Navy. Contacts which she used to request help during the conflict on the border world. And which enabled her to make me an offer that resulted in my joining her retinue.
Ooh, an offer, eh?
The Navis Imperialis is an ancient institution with its own mandates and muster lists. On occasion, in the heat of an official briefing or an informal discussion, I violated those rules, determined to press my point. It is challenging to choose the words to accurately express my opinion on a situation or the actions of others that do not sound overly scathing or confrontational. Many in command were inclined to view my manner of speaking as unbefitting a person of my rank.
So we passed a coercion test, but was Abelard trying to coerce me, or was I trying to coerce Abelard? I'm not sure. Say, Abelard, never mind all that. Do you have a family?
I am a widower. I am a father of 4, and if my information is not outdated, a grandfather of 11. My family lives on Dargonus. None of my children express any eagerness or aptitude for serving aboard ship, and I would hardly have insisted that they follow in my footsteps.
I sense an estrangement from his family. He has a tragic backstory. Thank you, I have no more questions, Abelard.
Of course.
Actually, no, I do have more questions, because the dialogue choices have not run out yet. You may call me by my first... No, I'm not going to tell him that. You must call me Lord Captain at all times. I must take my leave now. Until next time, Seneschal.
Lord Captain.
Oh, I have quarters. I have Lord Captain quarters. Greetings, Lord Captain. All is well on the bridge, Lord Captain. We'll see about that. My quarters better be in order. This reminds me of Pathfinder Kingmaker. The throne room of Pathfinder Kingmaker. The positions of the pieces on the board suggest that this game of regicide was interrupted. The winner was never determined. So this appears to be where the former Lord Captain was murdered. This hefty tome contains schematics of the flagship of House von Valentius, in addition to a plethora of notes, copies of reports, and other documents. And there's the painting. This majestic portrait, painted by a skilled artist, greets guests who have been granted permission to enter the Lord Captain's quarters. There's some heraldry up here on the wall. The coat of arms of House von Valentius is crowned with the text of the oath of rogue traders, the Emperor's faithful servants. There doesn't really seem to be much of interest in here. Liturgies of the Faithful to His Word and Name. The text below this solemn heading looks noticeably faded. It appears that the prayer book has been kept open on this page for a very long time. This fine sculpture made from a strange metal seems to absorb any rays of light that fall upon it. It's just a purple sphere. That's hardly a sculpture. There's a bizarre fragment hung on a trophy board. The light, smooth surface of the object is dotted with dark spots and crumbling holes. Oh, there's more. And there's a pipe organ. There's an actual pipe organ over here. The parlor organ seems to have been sitting idle for many years. And a very large library. The bookshelves are packed with ancient books, piles of papers and tomes, many of which look rather worn. And on the desk, the light glinting off the polished skull of some unknown Xenos makes it seem like the bony face is mocking you. There's an alien skull on the desk. Oh, it looks like someone has cleaned the corpse of Lord Captain Theodorus from her desk. Oh, wow, we have some interesting things over here in the corner. The ticking of the clock is too quiet for its bulky size. A very large grandfather clock. And the Lord Captain's personal cogitator, von Valentius's ancestry records. A shrine of remembrance. Oh, these must be all the people who donated to the Kickstarter. Did this game have a Kickstarter? Isn't Owlcat? It's like their third game. Don't they know how to get funding yet? What's in the vault? The vault, my personal vault, contains nothing as of yet. Yeah, this is basically Pathfinder Kingmaker reskinned, is what this game is. There are bookshelves over here, packed with ancient books, piles of papers and tomes, many of which look rather worn. I said that already, didn't I? Now there's a hallway back here. Oh yes, this is where I was teleported. After some incident with chaos or another. Alright, let's get out of here. There appears to be nothing useful in here for my current situation. To the Void Ship Bridge again. Lord Captain, I have completed refreshing myself in my quarters and I am ready to resume the journey. So I believe I will click on the Coronis Expanse map. Idira Talas. Oh, there's a whole card here for her, which disappeared way faster than I could read it. Star systems. The events of Warhammer 40,000 Rogue Trader take place in a vast region of space known as the Coronis Expanse. This sector is composed of numerous star systems, many of which you will get a chance to visit. You will find yourself scouring the void in search of routes leading to new, uncharted systems, discovering more routes as you explore the expanse. What you see before you is the map of one such system. Each star system contains objects you can interact with. Such objects are marked as points of interest. Move your ship to a point of interest, then click the left mouse button on it to initiate the event or open the planet view. Apparently there's no picture for the second page of this. Probably it only has a second page because my font is so big. And they did not anticipate such an occurrence. I like to point out bugs in programs. So, we, I think, are over here on this void ship that seems to be blinking over on the left side. We're orbiting a very large sun. There are 1, 2, 3 planets orbiting this sun. One has a name that is not known because it has not been explored. However, the quest says to visit Rykadi Philia, the prison planetoid, so I'm going to assume that's the prison planetoid. It appears that there is a Eurac 5 over here is that it looks like a space station. It doesn't look like a planet. There's a planet over here, Rykad Minoris, which has 3 possible quests. And way on the left is Rykad Majoris, which has no quests. And there's an unidentified void ship circling the sun out there. The closest place is Eurac 5, where we might find a navigator, I think. There is a quest to locate a navigator. Should we go to the closest place? Do we left-click or right-click? I'm right-clicking, nothing happened. Now I'm left-clicking. And we are flying there with no questions asked. It is Vox Master Vigdis reporting. Lord Captain, reporting. The heralds of the Navis Nobilite continue to maintain Vox silence, perhaps due to Eurac 5 being off-limits to visitors. We intercepted signals from the beacons drifting in the station's orbit. The demands are clear. We are told to turn the ship around immediately. We have also detected an accumulation of space debris near the station's docks. Presumably it is the remains of interplanetary shuttles. Perhaps the esteemed Navis Nobilite house requires aid, and therefore cannot respond to our Vox transmission. Do we contact the station again? Do we order the Augur crew to scan the station? Do we turn back? Or do we refuse to turn back, I should say? Or refuse to invade the Navis Nobilite station? What if I will order the Augur crew to scan the station before we leave. Yes, Lord Captain. The Vox remains silent for a while, but then you hear static and Vigdis's measured voice. The officers from the Augur crew performed a full scan of the station, but the information is imprecise. They note wave distortions of unclear genesis that are throwing off most of the readings. We were able to ascertain that the reactor core of the station is still active, but many compartments are unpowered and some fully depressurized. The signs of biological activity are largely present in the central module, which means the station has not been abandoned. So the question remains, why are the esteemed navigators' heralds ignoring us? Try to contact the station again. I will negotiate personally. The Vox relays the cadent sound of grinding gears and clicking tumblers. I'm sorry, Lord Captain, the station does not reply even after an official greeting by a rogue trader and the declaration of your intent to negotiate in person. Well, it feels like it's time to make our first bold decision. I'm gonna guess I can't do a quick save in the middle of this dialogue. All right then. Order the crew to commence docking with the station. We will dock anyway, with or without approval. We need a navigator. Affirmative, Lord Captain. We do not know what is happening at the station, so you will have to look for the esteemed navigators blind. Dock safely, and may the God Emperor light your path. What could possibly go wrong? New quest, Secrets of the Navis Nobilite. That's not the right words. The Navis Nobilite station is not responding to any signals, but the Augur arrays have detected biological signatures in the main chamber. The rogue trader's only option is to perform an emergency docking and personally investigate. The rogue trader needs to recruit a new navigator, but the Navis Nobilite heralds are not responding, and something strange is happening on their void station. It appears outside intervention is required. That's what we're doing. We are interventioning from outside. Wait, what happened? I thought we were going to... do something. What is my hull integrity? My hull integrity seems fine. 120 of 120. A void ship's core structure. Hull integrity is an indication of the degree of damage the void ship has sustained. This damage remains after the battle is over and must be repaired. Use scrap to repair your ship and restore its hull integrity. How do I, like, beam down? Beam me down to the station. I clicked on it again. Oh, begin. Okay, let's scan. Scan the place. We have no signal though. But wait. There's Eurac 5, which it's been added to the worlds of the Expanse. Eurac 5, the Explorator fleet, is not aware of Eurac 5, apparently. The system is Rycad. We have 2 quests. It's a rocky world, apparently. I thought it was a station. Are we going to the station, or are we going to the planet? Oh, can we get some extractium? A mobile mining outpost assembled in accordance with the Blessed Standard Template construct. This small industrial complex can be deployed on practically any world. However, inhospitable, the serf clan assigned to it will devote itself to the maintenance of its sacred mechanisms and the extraction of resources needed by the rogue trader. Should I do that? It says 0 though. I'm clicking on it and nothing is happening. I'm gonna click on Eurac 5. Oh. Why does Darius have a different icon? Alright, we're assembling an away team to go to Eurac 5. Is this where I'm supposed to go? I'm a little confused about what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm not sure if I'm going to a quest location or I'm going to an empty planet. An empty rocky planet. Oh, this looks like a station. There's been foul play here.
Pathetic worm. You dare to argue with your master?
It was not you whom I swore to serve within these walls. My lips are sealed.
Confess. What was the old man's last command? What are you planning?
Give up, Keeper. You have lost this battle. Again.
We're getting nowhere with these ones, sir. Permission to execute them.
Is this a vision? Wretches, you will be consigned to oblivion for your transgressions against House Orsellio. Immortal Emperor, deliver your servants from peril. Prayers will not help you, servant of the damned. In the name of House Orsellio, I command you to execute the infidels. No. It's a bloody massacre. Not a step further. Master, we have some strange guests on the station. Oh, hello. Felek Orsellio. A tall man stops you with a gesture when you approach. Blood is trickling down the pearly scales of his weary face, and not just his own blood. 2 jet-black, unblinking eyes are watching your every move, and the third one, the mark of a navigator's fate, is menacingly pulsing behind the lowered lid in the middle of his forehead. Step back, or I will unleash all the horrors of the Sea of Souls upon you. Emperor be my witness. Desist, brother. It was the Emperor's will that brought me to this abode. I will... Wait, no. Abelard, if you would be so kind. The Seneschal takes a deep breath. Before you stands his lordship, the rogue trader Darius von Valancius, heir to the greatest protectorate in the Coronus Expanse and bearer of the sacred warrant of trade. Allow me to point out that Nobilite custom requires the Lord Navigator to introduce himself first, but given the, unusual circumstances on the station, his lordship, the rogue trader, is willing to turn a blind eye to your hospitality. But just this once. In this case, I shall turn a blind eye to your unceremonious invasion. But just this once. There is a dangerous glint in the man's dark-shrouded eyes. Very well. Allow me to introduce myself. Before you stands Felek Christoph August, keeper of this place. So, you did not arrive to offer support to the traitors? This is great news. Having said that, you must understand that Eurac 5 is a holy sanctum for House Orsellio, and the path to it is only revealed to a select few. It pains me to say you are not on the guest list. Well, provide me with a navigator, and I will immediately depart the station. I do not think that is possible. Eurac 5 is an observation station. We do not sign contracts and do not provide navigators. We delve into the depths of infinity and chart the movements of the warp storms. And besides, Felek gestures at the disorder around him, you have chosen an inopportune time for negotiations. Alright, well, failing that, I'm looking for the Lord Inquisitor's interrogator, one Heinrich von Kalox. Do you know anything about his present location? The Lord Inquisitor's interrogator? I think I would know if such an important individual decided to pay us a visit. Alright then, what exactly is happening on this station? Where did all these corpses come from? Betrayal. A most banal thing in the life of the Nobilite, don't you think? I was stabbed in the back by my closest friend Theobald Orsellio, the second keeper of Eurac 5, and my mentor. On his instructions, my own people sabotaged the generators, blew up the shuttles, and brutally massacred the loyal servants of my mistress. Most unforgivably, they dared to take her prisoner. Greedy scum. I swear by the throne's light their souls will perish in the darkness of the void. Felek falls silent for a few moments and then furiously slams the end of his staff into the floor. The madmen have captured Lady Cassia and are now torturing her upstairs, while we are idly chattling down here. Help me rescue her, or be gone, but waste no more of my precious time. What kind of help are you talking about exactly? I would never ask you for such a favor under different circumstances, and yet... Felek takes his hand away from his ribcage, notices blood, and winces in pain. And yet Lady Cassia's well-being is above all. I haven't got many people left, and my wounds are too deep for me to act with precision and swiftness. But you may actually succeed. In order to ascend to the mistress's chamber, you will need to remake a holy relic sanctified with the blood of Lady Orsellio herself. This is the control rod of the elevator machine spirit. Which is, of course, a spirit believed by the adherents of the cult Mechanicus to inhabit and control any technology in existence. I have one part and the other was lost during the mutiny, but even this relic will be of no use unless the elevator mechanism is powered. Why should I help you? You came to this station for a reason. House Orsellio will not be able to help you until the current crisis is resolved. But if you aid us now, I promise we will reach an agreement that you will find satisfying, be it riches, influence, or the powers of our navigators. Alright, how do I remake the control rod? I have a phylactery containing the mistress's blood. It needs to be taken to the laboratory, which is located behind one of the reliquary doors. The most ancient of sacred mechanisms will help to rebuild the rod. The tech priests ceaselessly performed the rites of appeasement so that the machine spirit would serve the house in its time of need. The fateful hour is now upon us. And how am I supposed to power the elevator? The station's main cogitator is situated in the guard room. Just enter the correct command sequence and the sacred mechanism will do the rest. Well, if it is so simple, why don't you do it yourself? I never said the feat would be easy to accomplish. The path to the laboratory and the guard room is blocked by the very same madmen who took over the station. They will not negotiate and are not afraid of displeasing the Navis Nobilite or incurring the Emperor's wrath. They bow only to brute strength, something which I currently happen to lack. Well, I guess that makes sense. So what have you decided, descendant of the von Valentius line? Well, there's so much to think about. I don't think I have any more questions. The woes of your house upset the balance of power in this part of the galaxy. I will help you, if not for the sake of profit, but for the good of the Imperium. It will be an honor to save the Lady Navigator from her woes. The rogue trader's aid will cost House Orsellio, but you should rejoice, for your mistress will live. I will rescue your mistress, but in return I require that House Orsellio sign a contract with my protectorate. Yes, that's what I need. I need a navigator. I will rescue your mistress, but in return I require that House Orsellio sign a contract with my protectorate. Do it now! Do it now! Felek's reply sounds curt and tired. So be it. Hurry, the mystery's safety is all that matters. But should you fail, our arrangement, is finished. Take this phylactery of blood. Wow, okay. Well, this has turned into a lengthy side quest. The keeper of the station spoke of a rebellion and madmen who captured his mistress. Lady Cassia is being held in the upper chambers against her will, but a malfunctioning elevator prevents anyone from entering. The elevator control rod can be rebuilt in the laboratory using blood and a sacred mechanism. The power to the elevator must be restored using the cogitator in the guard room. So we have to go to a guard room. Okay, the map is not helping me very much. We have to go to a guard... Okay, why doesn't it stay on the quest that I'm doing? We need to go to a laboratory and we need to go to a guard room. And we have successfully made contact with the Navis Nobilite station. Such as it is. Well, we've got our work cut out for us.